How are you all doing tonight? Good? I am a native New Yorker. Any other native New Yorkers here? Great. I'm a native New Yorker, but I used to live in San Francisco. And San Francisco is a great city to perfect your gaydar. And if you're not familiar, a gaydar is the ability to just know when somebody's gay. And my gaydar was so bad, I didn't know I was gay until I was 34. I tweaked it a little bit. I see a lot of comedians, a lot of straight comedians come on stages like this, and they make being gay the punchline of their joke. And I think nothing is off limits. I think you can make fun of anything and everything. But I don't think straight people know how hard it is to be a gay man today, even with all the strides we've made. Being a gay man in today's world means that every day, at any moment of the day, I can get a blowjob. That's a very distracting way to go through life. Me being with you here right now means I'm choosing to not have a blowjob. Discipline. I was in a gay bar in San Francisco and somebody spiked my drink. They gave me the date rape drink. And then they didn't fuck me. Do you know how that shatters your confidence? When somebody calls an audible on your rape? It's shattering. I realized I was gay during this one particular date with this woman. We were back at her apartment. We were both naked on the couch, and she was really pushing for me to have sex with her. And I said, you know, I don't think we should. It's Passover. I've never let being Jewish keep me from having sex with a guy. I've had gay sex at a bar mitzvah. I mean, not with the kid. You know. With the dad. Good. There's a lot of dilfs at bar mitzvahs. You should check it out. Bar mitzvahs, Passover, yes, I'm Jewish. And my middle name is so Jewy. It's so Jewish. Ira. Ira. You can't get more Jewish than that. It's literally a tax shelter. I'm 46 years old, and I've never seen this country more torn apart than it is right now. And I think the only way we're going to get past where we are today is if we all unite. Everybody. Blacks, whites, gays, straights, Republicans, and Democrats have to get together and decide, are we going to swipe our credit cards or insert the chip? We're being torn apart. Donald Trump has gone through great lengths to tear us apart, to making us fear each other, making us fear Mexicans. He tells us Mexicans are going to steal our jobs. Mexicans are not going to take your jobs. Robots are going to take your jobs. And once the robots have all the jobs, trust me, Mexican robots are going to take their jobs. Lazy Mexican robots. Sleeping on the factory floor. I'm nervous about the way the world is headed, but I try to look on the bright side and say, well, now every building is a pre-war building. So I think that's what you need to do. I think you need to look at the bright side. I don't want to bring the room down, but I want to share this with you because it's real and because it might help somebody who's in the audience who's going through something similar. I went through a very, very dark depression for a while, and for me, depression was not being sad. It was feeling absolutely nothing at all the time, which is a hard place to be in. And for a long time, I thought about suicide. And I finally realized one day that I was never going to kill myself. And I realized that when I took stock of the fact that every time I get Chinese food, I get the brown rice. People who are going to kill themselves don't get the brown rice. Brown rice means there's hope. Brown rice means I might want to stick around for tomorrow. When I was in this dark place, I really only had one friend, and he was depressed too, my one friend. And we would try to support each other through what we were going through. And one day I confided to him, I said, hey, would you ever consider going into a suicide pact with me? And he said he would, but he was in a suicide pact with somebody else. And that was the lowest. I used to live across from this place called Webster Hall, which is an awful nightclub. And people would pregame in front of my apartment. They would blast music from their car, and I would go down at 1 a.m. and say, hey, can you keep that down? And they would say, no, faggot. And so I developed a way to get them to cooperate. I developed a fake 3-year-old daughter. And I would go down and say, hey, I have a 3-year-old daughter upstairs, and she just fell asleep. Can you turn it down? And they'd say, oh, yeah, okay, sure. But I'm such a stickler for story that she's now 6. And she's doing very badly in school. I refuse to vaccinate her. I won't do it. Which causes a lot of problems at the fake PTA. I'm from New York, but I recently left Manhattan. I left Manhattan because of the noise. And it wasn't the sirens, it wasn't even the music from Webster Hall. It was this one particular voice. It was this one female voice that was shared amongst hundreds of different women. And here are some of the things I overheard in the voice that I overheard them, which made me leave. That Chipotle is a really good one. Everything is wrong with that sentence. Same voice, different woman, I overheard on a date with a guy. The guy says to her, well, when's your birthday? She says in this voice, I don't think I really have a birthday because I was a C-section. So I have a day that I was taken out, but I wouldn't call it a birthday. And I overheard the same voice, recently actually. This is what I overheard this one woman say to her friend in this voice. I think that short, bald guy is listening to us. So I had to leave. This is the longest I've been off my cell phone in a long time. Thank you very much. I'm Jeff Greenspan.
One more time for Jeff Greenspan, everybody!